Now, if you would stand over here again, just between the chair and the fireplace, that's it. Draped a little, as it were pensive, or languorous, hmm? Yes. Oh, yes, please. It's a question of getting the right pose, you see. And making these quick sketches to brood on, and then having selected the one, getting it down with passion.
Quite.
I've no time for Sargent's method of painting a face a dozen different ways and then going back to the first one.
Isn't the jawline a little angular? Well, I see what you're getting at. It's very strong, of course.
Your husband wants you drawn soft to flatter him, Lady Marjorie, whereas I see you as a woman of personality, decision, strong-willed even.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, Scone.
Shall we turn him out? Husbands are a great trial to artists. They look on their wives as possessions, and a portrait as a kind of display case.
And wives, Mr. Scone?
They don't pay the fee. Besides, they like their husbands to appear strong men of the world, which is much easier to comply with. I mean, if I saw your husband as a lily and wanted to paint him like that, what would you say, hmm?
Send for the police, I should think.
I've just come back... Could you turn this way a little? I've just come back from Paris, where there's an exhibition of the best in French painting, which you really must try and see next time you're over there.
And what shall I see, Mr. Scone?
Light and colours you've never seen before. I sent my cousin, young John Strathcairn, over to buy a Degas for that draughty seat of theirs in Perthshire. But the fool bought one of Renoir's lush pieces. Said the Dowager wouldn't have a servant hanging in the drawing room.
Old Lady Abercraven?
Yes, my unsainted aunt. Head this way a little, please.
You'll be going up to Abercraven for the 12th.
My dear Bellamy, since I ran Since I ran away to Paris to become a disreputable painter, I've managed, thank God, to see as little of my family as I wish. Boy. Besides, the destruction of small birds doesn't really interest me. Yes. Now, how shall we clothe the portrait? Hmm?
Would you like me...
My dear Lady Marjorie, an artist and a woman would never agree on such a delicate matter. Besides, an artist's vision is quite different from that of a lady of fashion. Will you join me in an honourable compromise?
The two words rarely go together, Mr. Scone, at least not in politics.
And so?
So, if you would select one or two of your most favoured dresses and have them sent round to me to examine for texture, something light and frothy, perhaps, but leave the final decision to me.
Yes, certainly.
There. Wouldn't you call that an honourable compromise? Giving us both the freedom of decision, yet without the indignity of a battle.
Yes, I don't think I'd like to fight with you, Mr. Scone. At least not yet.
Well, as much as I'm enjoying the carefree atmosphere of the artist's studio, I'm afraid that affairs of state beckon. I'm due at the Admiralty in, goodness, half an hour. And the First Sea Lord dislikes unpunctuality.
In fact, I require your wife's patience no longer. Sketches are done.
Oh, good. Then you'll begin the painting?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Capital. Mr. Scone, I'm sure you'll produce something quite outstanding.
With such a charming subject, how could I fail?
Hudson, will you call a hansom? Mr. Scone is leaving. Very good.
No, not for me, thank you. I'll walk back to my studio across the park. Till tomorrow, then. And you won't forget the dresses.
They shall be sent round this afternoon, and I'll expect you here tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Indeed. Lady Marjorie, Mr. Bellamy.
Well?
Well, I hope you've chosen the right man.
Oh, he's an exciting painter, Richard.
Oh, that I've no doubt, but is it necessary for a painter to talk quite so much?
I find this conversation very interesting and stimulating.
Well, rather you than me. I don't have to listen to them all day. Well, I must go. Now, dinner at 8:30, I believe, and a white waistcoat.
Yes, and you won't be late, will you? The Cecils are coming.
I will not be late. And if that talkative fellow does not do justice to my wife's beauty, I shall...
What will you do?
I shall hang him next to one of his own portraits.
Entree. Come in, damn you. What the devil?
He said to bring these on up, sir.
He?
The foreign chap downstairs.
My servant, my servant. Why didn't he bring them up himself? What are they, anyway?
Lady Marjorie Bellamy's dresses, sir.
Oh.
Will that be all, sir?
What's your name?
Sarah, sir.
You can drop the sir with me. You don't like saying it anyway.
How do you know what I don't like saying?
Hold that. I want you to show me these dresses. Hold on, come on. Hold it up, hold it up. Dear, looks like a dust sheet. Next. Ah, the simple milkmaid. I might have known there'd be one of those. It never works over 40. Why will they never learn?
Oh, come off it. She's ever so nice looking for her age.
But a tyrant underneath, I'll bet.
I don't think you ought to ask me that.
What about the butler? Does he whip you?
Oh, I'd like to see him try.
No. But you're afraid of him?
I'm not afraid of no one. He's not bad, really. He gives us a night off every week, and that's more than most.
When's yours?
Wednesdays.
What do they pay you?
Mind your own business.
£10 a year and a bed in the basement, eh?
No, old clever Dick. It's twice that much and a room in the attic. And Rose gets 30.
Who's Rose?
She's my friend. We've got this lovely room up top together. And when we've got a bit of money together, we're going to open a boarding house in Brighton.
No, next.
You'd better fancy this one.
Yes, put it on, that's
because it's the last.
it. Might do. Now, come over here, come over here. Ah. Now, look. Will you bury all that beauty in a boarding house in Brighton?
I rather fancy Brighton. Balls at the pavilion, and a gentleman to hand me out of my bathing machine into the water, and perhaps a drive along the front in a motor car.
These tuckney novelettes you girls read. You've never been to Brighton.
Oh, results are all the same. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yes, that's the one.
Pardon?
That's the one. Tell your mistress that's the one I want her to wear. Now put them all back in the box, and off you go.
I've been to Southend. Rose? Rose!
Wherever have you been? You've only got 5 minutes to change. It's time to serve drawing room tea.
Rose, I've got a letter. Look, it says by hand. I've managed to read that much myself. You'll have to do the rest.
You try.
You know I can't.
You can if you persevere.
Oh, Rose, it's not like print. Real writing's different with all them squiggles. It's too hard for me. Please, Rose.
If you don't hurry up, you'll be late downstairs. Where'd you get it then?
Well, I was going down the area steps, and this chap handed it to me.
What sort of chap?
Oh, nobody special, just ordinary looking.
And he gave it to you just like that?
Yeah, just like that. Well, don't you believe me? Well, come on, open it. Maybe it'll say who it's from. What's it say?
If this is one of your games, who'd you get to write it for you then? Same person who's wrote your French reference, I suppose. Well, you may have fooled Lady Marjorie in the agency, but you can't fool me.
Rose, honest to God, and cut me throat if I tell a lie.
Divine Sarah. Divine Sarah. There will be a cab waiting for you at the end of your street on the corner of the square on Wednesday at 7. The cabby will bring you to me. Ask no questions.
Who's it from?
It's signed an admirer.
Where?
There!
Admirer.
You expect me to believe that?
Well, why shouldn't I have an admirer?
Who is he then?
Oh, probably someone who's seen me around in the park or something.
Oh, and how does he know your name?
Divine Sarah.
Sarah Bernhardt. She's an actress, Frenchwoman. He's laughing at you.
It's all a bit of a laugh, really, isn't it? Oh, I won't sleep tonight for wondering who it's going to turn out to be.
You're not going?
Why not?
Gentlemen don't make assignations with housemaids for the charm of their conversation, you know.
An assignation? Oh, that sounds very romantic.
Not so romantic when you're turned off in disgrace and the father won't marry you.
Oh.
They never do, you know. When it's all over, you're thrown in a corner like a rag doll the moths have been at. Sometimes girls don't come back at all. They end up on a slab in a morgue.
Don't. You make me feel all funny.
How can you bear anyone pouring you about?
Oh, it's only you, says he will. If he's a gentleman...
If he's a gentleman, he'll pour you about. Sarah, don't go.
Don't worry, Rose. I'm ever so strong.
Just when you get your tipsy.
Yeah, that's right. I'm bubbly. Very refreshing, I must say. What's that bed doing there? Wasn't there before?
For models. Posing. Sometimes I use it myself.
I'll bet. What was this proposition that you wanted to talk to me about? I only take propositions from gentlemen, mind.
How do you know I'm not a gentleman?
'Cause you're a painter.
Ah, cousin to an earl.
Oh, and I'm Mary Lloyd.
It's true.
Prove it.
I'm not going to parade my family tree for your inspection. Well, go on. Off you go. Finish your champagne. Back home to Rose. Isn't it a little late for you to be out? Of course, you won't have much to tell, but I'm sure you'll make up something as you go along.
Here. Is your cousin really an earl? Rose said that if you turned out to be a gent, I wasn't to trust you.
Rose is a very wise girl.
Rose says this Sarah, what's her name?
Bernhardt.
Yeah. Is a French actress.
The divine Sarah. I thought you wouldn't be able to resist that. Sarah Bernhardt, the greatest actress in the world. A consummate artist.
Are you a consummate artist?
Of course.
Well, you look healthy enough to me. What's your Christian name?
Oh, I never use it. Everybody calls me Scone.
Scone? Scones for tea, buttered, please.
Yes. Now, let's get down to my proposition, shall we?
All right, what is it?
I want to paint you.
Paint me?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like Lady Marjorie?
That's right.
Why?
Your face. It interests me.
My face?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be hung up on a wall for everybody to look at?
If I paint you well enough, yeah.
Can't pay nothing.
No, it won't cost you a farthing. Or you'll have to come on your afternoons off.
All right.
Good. We'll start at once.
What now?
Right now. At once. Now, get into that bed.
Oh, come on, you
Take your hat off.
Stop
Now, we'll have to put
it.
your hair down.
Leave
Take
me.
your blouse off.
Oh!
That's it.
No,
Now, into
don't
the bed.
touch
Go on,
me.
into the bed.
Lady Marjorie never
In the
takes
bed.
her clothes
Now
off.
then, look. There you are. That's how I want to paint you. Your pale face against the shadows. Now, my divine Sarah, all you have to do is to keep very still.
Here, do you
Keep
know...
still.
I thought you'd be asleep.
You told me to wait up.
You'll be ever so tired in the morning. What you reading?
The Dove in the Eagle's Nest.
Not the Bible.
It's by Charlotte M. Young.
Is it a twopenny novelette? My friend said that all servant girls read twopenny novelettes. you going to ask me what happened?
It's your line.
Yes, but half the fun's telling you, Rosie.
Is it?
I haven't done nothing wicked.
Come here. Breathe. You've been drinking, haven't you?
Champagne! That's not a drink, that's nectar. The nectar of the gods, the milk of Bacchus.
Shh, you'll wake Alfred.
Oh, never mind, Alfred. Well, aren't you going to ask me who my friend turned out to be? Go on, ask me.
All right. Who did your friend turn out to be?
Scone.
Who?
Scone, the gentleman who's painting Lady Marjorie. He's going to paint me and all. He thinks I'm beautiful.
Paint you?
He wanted the other, but I was firm. I mean, you know what artists are. But he still wants to set me up in a little flat of my own.
But if that's what he wants, why does he bother painting you?
Oh, well, you see, he's been in Paris all this while, where all the artists have their mistresses as models, and they go on painting them till they become famous. I told him all about you and how we share this room together. I'm going there every Wednesday when I get them off, and on Sundays too.
Well, what for?
To sit for him, like Lady Marjorie does when he paints her. Incidentally, he's ever so rich and the cousin to an earl. And he thinks I'm beautiful, isn't it a lark?
Now you listen to me, Sarah. He'll dangle his money and his position in front of you till you can't hold out no more. The painting's just an excuse to keep you going there while he works on you. Can't you see that?
Look, Rose, what else have I got to do? It isn't as if you and me have the same night off. I'm lonely by myself. I'm not used to it. Rosie, rather than go walking the streets on my own, I might just as well be there with him. Don't be cross with me, Rose. I can't help how I'm made.
Come to bed.
Rose?
Yeah.
Am I beautiful?
Go to sleep, Sarah.
Head up a little. Right. Now hold it perfectly still.
It's worse than dining at Windsor.
The light's fading fast. In a moment your servant will come in and shut it all out with the curtains. That will be the end of us. I like you best by sunset. What the French painters called sous-feuille. Yes, sunset. That's your moment.
Are you a poet as well as a painter?
You have very fine hands, Lady Marjorie. I shall make them pieces of mist, yet with a touch of bone underneath, because that's how you are.
You get to know your subjects that well simply by painting them.
I know what you mean to me in terms of paint.
Oh, that's not very flattering. Women like to be known for themselves.
Rubbish, if I may say so. You don't want anybody to know you. Nobody does. We all want our mystery. Our own and everyone else's. So we arrange our surfaces to give our chosen impression.
And the painter?
Rearranges them to give his.
Oh, but supposing he's wrong?
He can't be. That's his. Product of a trained mind and eye.
Is that what your friends are trying to do in those French paintings you want me to see?
Perhaps. You may say you see them quite differently, of course. There's no neat nugget of a moral you can take away and forget the picture. That's not art. It's not even life anymore. Life itself is a series of colourful moments.
And morality?
Largely hypocrisy.
You know, you talk more like a Fabian than like
I'm the nephew of the Countess of Abercraven, Would you take up the pose just a little while longer?
Sorry.
Thank you. Head up, this way.
I think I'm a little frightened of what your picture may show, of what you see.
Good. We'll keep the mask dropped a little. There, we're to be left alone no longer.
Shall I draw the curtains, lady?
Mr. Scone?
Yes.
Yes, Sarah, you may.
Reposez-vous, madame. Finished, good lady. The bright day is done.
We are for the dark. You'll stay for tea?
If I may, yes. All right. We'll have a rest.
Scone, bring me some champagne.
Very good, milady.
To the divine Sarah.
The divine Sarah.
It's funny to be in bed with your boots on. Here. You feel I've got nice legs?
What are you up to now? What dream world are you concocting for yourself, you little fantasist?
What's a fantasist?
Someone who lives on airy nothings, on tomorrows that never come.
Yes! Airy nothings and tomorrows that never come. Oh God, how much longer must I wait for tomorrows, my noble Earl of tomorrows who never bloody comes? For he is the father of my luckless child, my vile seducer. And it is my Lord Tomorrow's fault that I am cast out into the storm in my rags and tatters, cold and... Ow! I've dropped the baby. There, child. Do not cry. You are unharmed.
All right, Madam Bernhardt.
Ow!
That will do.
Is that my applause, fellow?
No, it's your signal to get back to work. Now, come on.
I saw one of them dramas at the Lyceum once. There was this lord,
And
he
keep your
felt...
mouth shut. What about the boarding house in Brighton? I asked you a question. You can move your mouth now.
Thank you.
Well?
I don't know, Rose hardly talks to me nowadays. She don't like me coming here with you.
Does she still think I'm after your virtue?
She doesn't trust you. She says,
Yes?
if you were honest, you'd pay me.
Do you think I should?
Models get paid.
So do prostitutes.
Here, you.
What do you think you're worth?
Oh, keep your money, I'm not like that.
No, Rose is right. I ought to reward you. Maybe I should take you out somewhere or buy you a new hat or something. I don't know. What do girls like?
You should know what a French girl's like.
It's what English girls like, that's the problem. I've been away so long. You'll have to help me. Now, what's it to be?
Anything.
In reason.
The bioscope.
The what?
The Daily Bioscope in Bishopsgate Street. That's within reason.
Moving pictures?
Yeah, Alfred went once on his night off and he told us all about it. They're real people, not painted and still, but moving, and motor cars and horses and the king himself.
I know.
Have you been? Well, take me, you promised.
Now, what is so exciting about a series of flickering shapes?
Because they're real. They happen just like that. Nobody made them up, they're true.
And what about art?
Oh, art's all right for those that can afford it, but it's not true, is it?
Ah, well, I'll tell you something.
Yes, but can
now
we go?
Be quiet and listen. They betrayed art. All the academicians that have spent a lifetime painting a chair so exact that you could almost sit on it, and now take 60 pictures first to make sure they get every angle right, they are destroying artistic imagination. Do you know what will happen? We will be so sickened by these pictures that ape photographs that we won't be able to paint a human being at all. And it'll be your fault with your naive demand for the truth.
It's not my fault.
Get dressed.
Are we going?
Who am I to stop the march of civilization? Allons?
Pardon?
Au bioscope?
Huh?
Get dressed.
Oh, we're going!
Go on.
It was kind of you to take it away and frame it yourself.
Not at all. To the inexperienced eye, an unframed canvas always looks like rough work. Also, I wish to give you pleasure.
You're very courteous, Mr. Scone. Ah, Richard.
I hope I'm not too late.
Lady Marjorie tells me that she's as impatient as a child before a coveted treat.
Well, I must say I'm a little curious myself. We've never had a portrait before. Well, now, where would you like us to stand for the unveiling?
Oh, well, just there, I think. I must admit to feeling a little like a conjuring uncle at a birthday party. Well, here goes. Abracadabra.
Oh, Richard, say you like it.
Well, I don't know what to say. It takes a little getting used to. It's almost glowing. Tawny. Is that the word? Makes you look a bit of a wildcat. It's certainly unusual. Distinguished in a way. It does grow on one. Is your hair really that colour?
I think so.
You don't think you've gone too far? It's a bit blurry, isn't it?
Richard, that's the new brushwork. Mr. Scone will think of such Philistines.
Lady Marjorie, I'm afraid you won't convert your husband, the new impressionist.
No, I like it. I've made up my mind. Thank you, Scone. Now then, where shall we hang it?
First, I would like to borrow it.
To borrow it?
If I may, yes. I would like to submit it to the hanging committee of the Royal Academy.
The Academy? Well, aren't they rather more traditional in their requirements?
Well, I think if you leave that to me, it can be arranged. I guarantee a safe return, of
Yes,
course.
Richard, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Artistic license.
Tricky sod. Do I really look like that? That's our room, all right. But how do you know you've never been there?
I didn't need to.
Who's that behind me?
Rose.
You've never seen Rose?
I have. Through your eyes.
Oh, there's all my things, or I leave them lying around. Rose hangs hers up, she's the tidy one.
I know.
You don't mind me mentioning it, but here, there should be a little plaque with "To work is to pray" written on it.
Ah. To work is... yes.
What you going to call it?
The maids.
Ooh. That's not very romantic, is it? Why don't you call it something nice, like "Waiting for Dawn" or something like that?
Ooh.
Well, other pictures have titles like that.
Yes, they have other artists, too.
What you going to do with it now?
Sell it?
Sell me and Rose?
Mm-hmm.
You won't need me anymore now, will you? Now you've finished your rotten old picture? Cast off like an old shoe. You've used me.
No. Art has used you, Sarah. And it's used me, too. There.
Just a minute, Mr. Scone. Why aren't I your mistress? What's the matter with me? I was good enough for your bleeding picture.
Oh, such language, Madame Bernhardt. Oh,
Damn you!
what? Now, wait a minute.
I wouldn't be your mistress if you were the last man on earth. But you might have bleeding asked me.
Please,
it's
stop
only
it.
bloody decent. What are you laughing for?
You and your idea of decency.
I'll bloody kill you.
Don't stop it.
Punching around and making me do it.
Now, stop shouting. There's a good girl. It's our last night together. I'll take you out to supper. Then we'll go to the bioscope. How about that, huh?
Charmed, I'm sure, Mr. Scone. There's none like Mickey Sally. He's the darling of my heart.
I don't know what the world's coming to.
What's that, Mr. Hudson?
Alf Common, the Sunderland centre-forward, transferred to Middlesbrough for £1,000. No footballer's worth that amount of money. It's not a game anymore, it's a blooming trade.
Quite agree, Mr. Hudson.
I didn't ask for your opinion, Sarah. Now back up and clear the table. Great heavens! Sarah, what have you done?
What do you mean? I haven't done nothing, Mr. Hudson. That's today's paper.
Burn it at once on the kitchen range, do you understand? And nobody must see it. Burn it.
What's the matter?
Well, don't just stand there, girl. Burn it. And you wait in here, my girl, until I return.
What happened to the paper this morning, Hudson?
Not come yet, sir.
Would be late this morning when I especially wanted it.
I shall send someone round to inquire just as soon as convenient, sir.
Tell the news agent I'll get my papers elsewhere. They can't deliver on time.
Very good, sir.
And remind her ladyship to meet in the Academy entrance at 4:30. Should be quite an interesting afternoon, eh, Hudson?
Quite, sir.
Splendid morning. I think I'll walk across the park. Tell Pierce he can put the carriage away unless her ladyship wants it.
Very good, sir. Now then, just to look at that.
That's my painting. It's in the paper.
Read what it says underneath.
I can't, Mr. Hudson.
Come on, girl. Read what it says. You've been taught to read. Read what it says out loud.
No, the print's too small. Picture's turned out nice, though, hasn't it?
Very well. I'll read it for you. Sensation of this year's Academy are undoubtedly two striking pictures by Guthrie Scone.
Oh, it's pronounced Scone.
Shut up. Artist nephew of the Countess of Abercraven, hung side by side in fascinating counterpoint, the mistress and the maids, as his pair of canvases are already being called, are both scenes from the house of Mr. Richard Bellamy, MP, Under Secretary of State for the Admiralty, and set a new fashion for home portraits. Asked to name the model for the scantily clad maidservant. In his canvas aptly entitled The Maids, Mr. Guthrie Scone referred our reporter to the servants' quarters at 165 Eaton Place.
What a cheek.
How did that man get up to the maid's quarters, eh? What has been going on behind my back, Sarah?
He was here every afternoon painting Lady Marjorie.
But not up in the maid's bedrooms.
No, he was in the drawing room painting her.
Now, you've been up to your tricks again, my girl, haven't you?
I haven't, Mr. Hudson. I went to his studio and posed for him in his bed. I mean the bed in the studio.
Now, don't lie, Sarah.
I'm not, Mr. Hudson. I went there every Wednesday. I had off, honest.
Well, I can tell you one thing, my girl. There's going to be hell to pay in this house before the day's over. You mark my words.
Good old Sarah. Got your face in the papers. Fancy.
They're both by Guthrie.
Fancy letting him paint their sermons.
Bellamy must have gone mad to allow it. He's a lick.
It's liberal propaganda.
Bellamy always did have an eye for a pretty face. More than a pretty face. Two naked maids.
The duchesses will have a field day. Look out, they've arrived.
Who?
The Bellamys.
Go down and talk to them now.
Very good, sir. Believe me, sir, if I'd had the slightest inkling...
That will be all, Hudson.
Yes, sir.
It's monstrous.
Yes, it is.
He must have crept up the back stairs or something when Hudson wasn't looking. The point is that we have been seriously damaged, both socially and politically, by that irresponsible cad. I never liked the fellow. Talked too much.
He is a good painter.
Oh, yes, I suppose so. And we've helped to establish his reputation at the cost of our own.
All the same, I do think the sensible thing is to try and treat the whole thing as a joke.
It's no joke having one's wife made the laughingstock of London.
I agree. But if we're to survive the ridicule, we must let our friends think that we're not annoyed, but amused. Of course, the worst thing is to think that Rose could have behaved so foolishly, leading the new girl astray. They'll both have to be dismissed, you know. Otherwise, the discipline of the whole household will collapse.
Indeed they will. What I resent most is the impudence of that man Scone, coming into this house and acting with such monstrous indiscretion.
You're to pack your trunks tonight and be gone in the morning, the pair of you. He'll pay you a month's wages, which is generous in my opinion. I doubt they'll ever want to set eyes on either of you again. They were to have gone out for dinner tonight. They've cancelled it now.
It's not fair. We haven't done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, you call it. Only made this household the laughingstock of London. Those are the master's own words. Oh, he's in a terrible rage, and who's to blame him? I don't know how you could, Hudson.
Well, what have you done? What have any of us done, for that matter, even me? Oh, Rose, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I told him I didn't know anything about it, and what I did not know I could not be held responsible for. Ignorance is no excuse in law, he said. It is your job to know. It's what you're paid for. So I said...
What?
I told him there was no knowing with you modern girls. Not like my young day, when girls were properly brought up and glad to get a good position. I told him I had no respect for the changing times, that you were all as deceitful as a wagon load of monkeys.
You mean you let him think what he liked and let us take the blame?
I've got my own position to think of. And the families.
Oh, Sarah.
Never mind, Rose. I don't see why you should suffer. You didn't even have the fun. They can't blame you if I tell them the truth. Come on.
Where to?
I'm going upstairs and tell them the whole story. They can get rid of me if they like, but not you. That's not fair.
We can't go up there without being sent for.
Oh, yes, we can. Excuse me, my lady. Sir.
Send them away, please, Richard.
But, my lady, it wasn't our fault. I didn't know he was going to put me up and show me in front of everybody. I thought he was only doing that.
I really can't stay here to listen to all these excuses. And when I think that
Your mistress feels betrayed in her own home by people she trusted. That's all there's to be said.
I beg your pardon, sir, but it isn't.
Isn't?
It isn't just, sir, not to Rose. She never had nothing to do with him. Scone, I mean. It was all me.
It's no use, Sarah.
Yes, it is. Now, listen. He asked me to go to his studio. I went there every Wednesday I had off. He never came anywhere near this place, and Rose has never seen him in her life. Now look, sir. You're a fair man. You wouldn't want to see an injustice done, would you?
I will not be badgered by my own servants in my own drawing room.
And I'll make him tell the truth.
What good will that do? No gentleman would stick up for two servants, no matter what the truth was. Night after night, slumming with a servant girl.
Rosie's not like that. He says in Paris.
Paris, Paris, who cares what goes on there? This is London. Oh, a gentleman can marry a chorus girl. That's romantic. But you don't exactly get it in the papers if he's carrying on with a skivvy. No, he got what he wanted from you, and you was fool enough to give it to him.
I never did. Now
Oh.
listen, Rose. I've tried to make things all right, and it's no use being cross with me. I'll make him tell old Bellamy the truth.
How?
I don't know how, but I'll think of something. It's all right for me, but Rose is different. She's never done anything else. She wouldn't know how to start again. She set her heart on working herself up to be a housekeeper one day. She wasn't even there. Why should she suffer?
The survival of the fittest.
And who are you, Mr. Bleeding Scone, to decide who's fit?
If you could keep that flash for long enough, I could use you again.
Mr. Scone, I've been pushed around all my life. I wanted a bit of security and I thought I'd found it.
Now, you deceive yourself, and the truth is not in you. But you don't deceive me.
You're such
No. Now, look. What do you expect me to do, eh? I can't employ you both, now, can I? I could ask my rich relations if they could use a couple of kitchen maids at the castle.
I want you to tell them the truth.
What truth?
They think we let you come up into our bedroom and paint us in bed. What are you laughing for?
The bourgeois mentality. So they think I've been creeping through the little green baize door up to the attic, do they?
Lady Marjorie's terribly upset. You shouldn't have done it to her.
Done what?
Humiliated her in public.
That is the price of being in the public eye. Now, don't pretend you're sorry for her.
I am. If it had been me, I'd have died of shame.
Look, I am a painter and I paint pictures, and that's that. You can all go to hell with your sickly hothouse emotions. I'm going back to Paris first thing in the morning. When the air's less damp and cloying.
Don't go like that. You can't.
I am. Now, go away and leave me alone.
Look. I'll come and live here with you and look after you and be your... whatever you like, only get Rose off. Just do that. I'll do anything you want.
Anything? All right. Take your clothes off. All of them. Go on. Would you like a drink? You may need one. You've no idea how bizarre my tastes might be.
Is there someone coming?
I know. Go on. Oh, no, that's all I need. You better get behind that screen. You might learn something. Ah, Bellamy.
May I come in?
By all means.
Now, look here, Scone, I'd like to get this thing settled once and for all.
Have you come to challenge me to a duel? Walking sticks or paintbrushes at 50 yards?
You can drop the flippancy and tell me why you did it.
Did what?
The paintings.
I painted 2 pictures and exhibited them. That's what they're for.
Surely you must know that to hang those pictures side by side would lead to gossip and comparison.
It never entered my head. Would you like a drink?
Yeah.
I forgot about our class-conscious society. I thought they were works of art, not social comment.
Was it necessary to use my under-housemaid?
Sarah, of the expressive eyes.
Both girls have got some cock and bull story about her visiting the studio.
Oh, look, what do you want me to say? Sarah came here on her evenings off. Oh, she seems to like you, by the way.
I trust you haven't been discussing me with my servants.
Really, Bellamy, there's no pleasing you this evening, is there? I thought you would like to know that a pretty girl thinks you're a good master.
And which of the two did you find the prettier?
Which did you? I've only seen one.
Do you honestly expect me to believe that you could...
Yes, I do. Do you think I'm such a poor artist I can't imagine the interior of a housemaid's attic?
Are you prepared to give me your word that you were never upstairs in their room?
Yes. I went to your house every afternoon for one reason only. To paint your wife's portrait.
So they were telling the truth?
Your servants? Yes. I'm afraid you'll have to keep them.
That will depend on my wife's attitude.
Oh, I don't know. Think of the ammunition it will give the Liberals when they find out that a junior minister, a member of the Committee for Imperial Defence, had dismissed two of his servants for no reason at all except that his wife's vanity was ruffled. The radicals would call it victimization, a favourite word of theirs. I don't think Balfour would thank you for adding to his troubles, even if you offered to resign. I'd forget all about it if I were you. You'll find everyone else will do the same.
You sound like a blackmailer, Scone. However, I will accept your word that you painted my servant in the studio. Well, I'll leave you to your work. Well, thank you for receiving me.
Pleasure.
Good night, Scone.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Scone.
And you'd have done that? For Rose? Hmm? Well, my divine Sarah, we'll open another bottle of champagne to celebrate.
Celebrate what?
We'll think of something.
Oh, I wish you'd seen our picture, Rose. Just once. We could still go, you know. It's open to the public.
We'd be recognised. Yeah. No, it's best to forget all about it.
I don't think I'll ever forget.
Was he that nice?
He's funny. Rose?
Yeah?
Do you think we could go on with the reading again?
Yes, if you want to.
You see, at the bioscope, there's words between the pictures, and if you can't read them, you don't know what's going on.
Oh.
We'll go together someday, Rose. I'll take you. I'm sorry I got you in all that trouble.
Well, you made it come all right in the end.
Aren't men funny?